Hey, what's going on, gang? How's it going today? I am yours truly, Herman Stuckey, here with On The Go Power Wash Pro TV. And today I want to do a short video to highlight and showcase my setup, and maybe it will give you some ideas, maybe answer some questions you may have. So let's get started. Okay, so the first item that I want to talk about, what I have, is my 300-gallon water tank. And the water tank is very helpful. That allows you to obviously store water, and you can essentially go anywhere and work. You don't need to stay close to a spigot, and you don't need to run a lot of water hose from the spigot to your pressure washer. You fill that up, you have 300 gallons to work with, and you can go anywhere. If you're working on the outside gate or brick wall of a gated community where there is no water source, for 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet, you can take that and fill it up. You can go out and you can work with no issues. So that's a contract, that's a job that you're going to get that other people who don't have a water tank wouldn't get. So that's one reason why I wanted a water tank, so I could get as many different types of jobs as possible. I have a cutoff valve that you saw towards the end of that clip. It's a shut-off valve, and it's just if I have an issue or a cut in my line and I'm leaking on water, I can just shut it off, and it's going to keep the water in the tank so I can make the necessary repairs in the line. And once those are fixed, then I can just open it back up and keep working. So it's important, if you're going to have a water tank, especially a large water tank, I think it would be very wise to put an emergency shut-off valve on your tank there. All right, so the next piece of equipment is obviously the power washer. And what I have, my setup is, it's a Landa commercial power washer. And I have a Honda GX390 engine. It puts out about 13 horsepower. And my Landa pump is belt driven, and it is 4 gallons a minute, 4,000 PSI. And my wand is, I like to call it a double barrel because it has the chemical injector all in that one wand. So I wouldn't have to switch to, say, a chemical gun or a chemical tip, and then a pressure gun and a pressure tip. It's all just like right there. I can control the actual PSI with the handle. Just turn it. So it's really cool to have, and it's very convenient. I'm sure if you watch my videos, you've seen me use it. So love it. It's good. It works. Okay, so what I just showed you was anyone who is planning on getting a power washer, pressure washer, whether you have a tank or not, the one thing that I would say you need to make sure that you let your salesperson or technician, let them know you want is a bypass hose. And basically, and even if you don't have a tank, you definitely want a bypass hose. Now, what that does is, when you're not actually on the gun shooting water out of the gun or the surface cleaner, and you're, say, maybe talking to a customer or you're moving furniture, to clean or to move to clean an area, that water is shooting out and not circulating around in that pump, getting hotter. And when it gets hot, bad things can happen to your pistons, your seals, your rings, all that stuff. So what that line does right there is when I'm not on the gun, it's just circulating and recycling and blowing back in the tank. So whenever I'm not on the gun or the surface cleaner, there's a constant circulation of cold water passing through that pump, and then it's going right back into the tank. I have one here, a new one, and I hadn't quite gotten it set up yet, but if you look right here, this is the bypass hose, and this hose would just shoot out on the ground. Okay, it would just shoot out on the ground. And so if this were hooked to a water faucet or a water spigot and a water hose, not a tank, then that would just run out on the ground. But it's keeping my pump cool and it's not causing it to overheat. Bad things can happen. So, all right, there you go. All right, so another piece of equipment that I think you should keep in mind, I just showed you a picture of the unloader. And a couple of things you need to know about the unloader is you don't want to actually adjust it by hand. You can actually turn that little plastic piece there, but you don't want to do that. You want to let a service professional set it. Once it's set, you don't want to turn that. Also, if you're looking at a pressure washer, make sure that your unloader is separate from your pump. And I'll show you in one second what I'm talking about, but I actually have seen units where the unloader and the pump are basically the same thing. And obviously if the unloader goes out, you have to throw the pump out or take the pump off too. I'm not really sure how that works, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty expensive because you're having to change an unloader that doesn't work and a pump that does work, but because they're one piece, you have to take it off. I'm not sure. I don't know if you have to get rid of it or what, but it sounds like it's just a lot of headache. So make sure, and I'm going to try and show you this here again, make sure that your unloader is separate from your pump. All right, you can see my hand there, and that's actually the piece that's connecting the unloader to the pump. All right. All right, so I just showed you a picture of my hose reel. That's my handy reel, and it holds about 100 feet hose. Some people like to connect 250s. I like one 100 piece. I also have a 50-foot extension, if I need it. But I just like 100 feet because it's just one hose, not two, but it's really what you prefer. All right, so that's my 16-inch Whisper Wash. It says Eagle Wash on it. It's a pretty good surface cleaner. One of the things that makes it better than most is that the bearings don't have to be greased, right? So that's one. Two, the bar on the inside, it's a lot bigger, and than most pressure washers where bars are more like this. And that's a 16-inch. I would suggest if you're going to go with any machine doing 4 gallons a minute, I personally wouldn't go in any larger than 16 inches because bigger isn't always better. You have to kind of just understand that if you're only outputting 4 gallons a minute, what size surface cleaner can you move efficiently and clean effectively and balance that out to where it's a benefit. And so with the larger surface cleaners, you'll find that you'll have to go slower. Or if you're moving, at a steady pace, you may leave striping, meaning you have to go right back over it again, and you're still wasting time. So if you want to do an 18-inch or 20-inch surface cleaner, then my suggestion would be up your gallons per minute. Not so much your PSIs, because your PSIs, you can have a 4,000 PSI, 4 gallons a minute. You can have a 4,000, 6 gallon a minute, whatever. When it comes to the surface cleaners, and the bigger you go, you definitely want to increase your gallons per minute, output from your pump. So, and you'll know that when you go buy it. It'll tell you, 5,000 PSI, 6 gallons per minute. And then, or 8 gallons or 10 gallons, whatever it is. And then you can start going into your larger surface cleaners. But the Whisper Wash 16-inch works great for me. I actually have 2 of them now. And so that is what I would suggest as far as surface cleaners. They'll run you about, they'll be less than $500. And if you're going to get any quality surface cleaner, you're going to spend, 400 or so bucks, less than $500. But that's a good quality commercial surface cleaner that's going to last you for a while. It depends on, what you can afford to get, and, things like that. I'm sure all those things matter. But to get a good quality surface cleaner, you're going to pay a little bit for it, but I've made my money back off that thing already. All right, so that's just a little spotlight on some of the major equipment pieces that I have and what I use. And I'll have to make a separate video of just like accessories and things like that, because that's also extremely important. And I just learn as I go. Sometimes if I see a situation that's new, I can say, oh, I need this, and then I'll go get it. So I want to spotlight though one item that I had that situation with. I forget what episode it was. Golly, what episode was it? I forget. But if you go back and if you look through my episodes, there was the long paver driveway. And if you saw me rinsing, if you look, down the back of the driveway towards the street, you can see there's a lake. And that's because it was just, the road was paved so high, and it, went down into the driveway. So when it rained, these people's driveways would just flood. And that's a whole nother topic of conversation of why you should work from back forward. But anyway, I want to spotlight this piece of equipment. I think everyone that does surface cleaning work should have a good quality squeegee. I ended up using my blower to blow all that water up and kind of out down into the drainage area. But that was an extra 45 minutes. I think if I had a squeegee, I would have been able to kind of whoosh, whoosh, So anyway, I went out and got a squeegee. So I would suggest if you have a surface cleaner, or if you really pressure washing, period, get a good quality squeegee. All right. So that's all I have for you for today. But I'll be coming and making some more videos, and we'll be talking about other things and other accessory items that can make your job even easier. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it can help someone. I am Henry Stuckey with On The Go Power Wash Pro TV. Until next time, peace.